Friends and family are remembering a Las Vegas celebrity known affectionately as the Old Man from the hit reality television show Pawn Stars. Richard Harrison, the wise and steady patriarch of the gold and silver pawn shop, was laid to rest at the age of 77. Those who knew him best gathered to sing their goodbyes and celebrate his remarkable life, but the sadness of his passing still lingers for fans around the world. For nearly a decade, Pawn Stars gave audiences an inside look at rare treasures, heated negotiations, and the colorful characters who ran one of the most famous pawn shops in America. The show turned everyday pawnbrokers into household names, cementing them as part of pop culture history. Yet, as beloved as the series became, fame could not shield its cast from heartbreak. Over the years, Pawn Stars has been touched by death, scandal, and personal struggles that left fans stunned. What looked like easy humor and light-hearted banter on television was, in many cases, followed by real-life battles away from the cameras. The sudden death of Adam Harrison, Rick Harrison's son, at just 39 years old, shocked audiences who saw the Harrisons as strong pillars of the show. His passing is one of several tragedies that forever changed the Pawn Stars family. At number 10 is Richard "Old Man" Harrison, who was not just a cast member but the foundation of the entire franchise. Alongside his son Rick, Richard opened the gold and silver pawn shop in 1989, helping it grow from a modest coin shop into a Las Vegas landmark. Fans admired his sharp business mind and calm demeanor, which balanced perfectly with Rick's no-nonsense negotiating and Chumley's comic relief. On camera, Richard was known for his eye for value, particularly with vintage cars and collectibles, and viewers trusted his serious, measured judgments. Off-camera, however, Richard faced the challenges of Parkinson's disease. In June 2018, at the age of 77, he passed away surrounded by his family. His death left a hole not only in the Harrison family but in the millions of fans who grew to love him. Watching old episodes today, fans feel both nostalgia and sorrow, remembering the Old Man as a cornerstone of the show who is deeply missed. Number 9 is Mark Hall-Patton, the historian who earned the affectionate nickname the Beard of Knowledge. Recognizable instantly for his long white beard, Amish-style hat, and bright red shirt, Mark brought an entirely different energy to Pawn Stars. His passion for history began in childhood, when he started building small displays of odd collections. This blossomed into a lifelong career in museum curation and historical preservation. On the show, Mark was unique among the experts because he never put a price on items. To him, history wasn't about money. It was about knowledge, context, and preserving stories. Appearing in over 140 episodes, he became a fan favorite, turning forgotten relics into fascinating lessons. Sadly, in 2024, Mark passed away after suffering a fatal stroke. Fans were devastated, as his warmth, humor, and knowledge made him an unforgettable part of Pawn Stars. His absence is felt not only by viewers, but by the larger community of historians and museum professionals who admired his dedication to preserving history. At number 8 is Austin "Chumley" Russell, the lovable goofball whose personality brought levity to the shop. Growing up as a close friend of Corey Harrison, Chumley joined the pawn shop as a teenager and eventually became one of its most recognizable employees. By the time Pawn Stars premiered in 2009, Chumley was already a familiar face in the shop. His laid-back humor and playful nature made him a breakout star, and he quickly became a global fan favorite. However, fame also brought trouble. In 2016, Chumley's life took a dark turn when police discovered weapons and illegal substances in his home. He was arrested and charged, ultimately pleading guilty to possession of a firearm by a prohibited person and to a misdemeanor drug offense. Fans feared his career and reputation were destroyed, but Chumley worked hard to turn things around. He completed probation, went through counseling, and gradually rebuilt his life. Today, he runs a candy business in Las Vegas, collects cars and trading cards, and has proven that redemption is possible even after public scandal. Number 7 is Rick Harrison, the mastermind who created Pawn Stars. With his entrepreneurial vision, he transformed the family pawn shop into a household name worldwide. But while Rick is still alive, his personal life has been marred by challenges. He has been married and divorced 4 times, and in 2020 he faced his greatest heartbreak when his son Adam died from a drug overdose at just 39 years old. The devastating loss was compounded by a painful legal battle with his own mother over family estate issues following Richard Harrison's death. To fans, Rick had always seemed unshakable, the tough negotiator who could handle anything. But behind the scenes, he was enduring unimaginable grief and family conflict. Despite this, Rick has remained the face of Pawn Stars, carrying on his father's legacy while trying to balance the pressures of family, business, and fame. At number 6 is Corey Big Hoss Harrison, Rick's son, who practically grew up in the pawn shop. Beginning work there at the age of 9, Corey learned the business from the inside out. His eagerness to modernize operations often clashed with his father's cautious style, creating some of the show's most memorable father-son moments. But Corey's personal life has been anything but smooth. In 2010, he underwent gastric bypass surgery, losing nearly 200 pounds to avoid diabetes. Just 4 years later, he was involved in a serious motorcycle accident that left him with multiple injuries. He also went through 2 divorces, while simultaneously grieving the deaths of his grandfather Richard and his brother Adam. In 2023, Corey was arrested for DUI, which marked another low point. By 2024, he relocated to Mexico, but continues to be linked to the pawn shop, symbolizing the next generation of the family legacy despite his many struggles. Number 5 is Olivia Black, who joined the show in 2012 during its 5th season. With her striking looks and vibrant personality, she quickly became a fan favorite. However, controversy soon followed when revealing pin-up photos from her past resurfaced online. While the Harrison family reportedly wanted to keep her on, the production company made the decision to remove her, fearing damage to the show's brand. Unlike most cast removals, Olivia was allowed to continue working at the shop off-camera, but eventually, she left entirely. Embracing her past, she returned to adult modeling on her own terms, creating a platform where she had full control over her image. Her departure was a stark reminder of how quickly fame can be lost in reality television. Number 4 is Steve Grad, the autograph authentication expert who joined the show in 2013. With over 15 years of experience and more than 100,000 autographs authenticated, Steve's expertise saved the shop from countless costly mistakes. Appearing in over 135 episodes, he built a reputation for his sharp eye and no-nonsense approach. However, fans gradually noticed his absence, as Steve focused on pursuing his career outside of the show. Though alive and well, his departure created a noticeable gap in Pawn Stars.